Happy Halloween. I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. This year has brought a lot of truth and introspection for me and probably most. When we're alone with our thoughts, our minds can search for purpose through memories or people that once played a significant role in our lives that have now faded from our realm of existence. Join me once again to delve into the spiritual world that surrounds my life, medium Brian Danhausen, to create a one-of-a-kind energy painting. Welcome back to the show, Brian.
Thank you for having me back.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. It's always so interesting to talk to you, too. You never know what's going to happen, you know. It's funny because when we did this last year, I was really nervous, and I'm still nervous this year doing it. Even though we've done it before, I just feel like, I don't know, it's not like bad nerves. It's just like energy. Like I got a lot of energy, you know. So how have you adapted to 2020 and the pandemic and being able to still sort of be there as a medium for people?
Well, a lot of my shows, of course, were shut down. So I've been doing kind of like we're doing now via video messaging. I do the reading. I do it the same way. I explain everything. And then I mail out the painting when I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Do you find it's hard to get that connection when you're, working virtually? And, in the past, you talked about you like to hold people's hands and stuff, and you don't get that option.
The whole process has become, I guess, stronger and easier. Example for you, I opened up earlier today. So I've been kind of getting stuff. You can see I've already painted the background. I've been getting stuff all day from your people. So I kind of already know what's going to go, what's going into the painting.
That's really interesting.
When I'm at a show, I would wear my headphones to keep concentration. When I'm at home, it's a much more peaceful environment, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you feel comfortable.
Right. So, yeah, I mean.
Do you think it helps that we've met in person before to get that connection?
I'm sure that does help because I've also linked with your people before from the other side. They kind of give me the information. So we already got that connection. We have the connection, me and you, and so it does make it, I would assume, a little easier.
Yeah, but you can still get there. You're capable of getting there.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because I've also been doing like tarot readings and stuff like that online as well, and it's just again opening up, expanding,
Well, on that note, let's take a look at some of the highlights from last year's reading.
This right here, for me, represents what I call burning at the stake, or persecution, which kind of directly comes in with these little swirls represent chaos and confusion. Mm-hmm. Now, the persecution and kind of stuff that burning at the stake usually is past life stuff, but I think it kind of trickles over into this lifetime.
Okay.
So this, with the chaos and confusion, is just like a growing point for you that would have been. Mm-hmm. To put you to, I always say you always got to go through this kind of stuff to get to your next phase of who you're supposed to be.
Okay.
Type of thing. The yellow around your head was what I call a crown, which is for people who have gifts.
Okay.
Which kind of go with these blue and white swirls, which I call portals. Mm-hmm. And that's where people with gifts go get their information from when they're kind of picking things out.
Yeah.
Now this thing up here in the corner, because for me purple is like a negative color, and black usually represents things on this plane of existence. It's like some kind of negative energy, or it could be a person kind of looming over. It could be a situation that kind of is looming, maybe in the background a little bit, kind of waiting for that moment, whatever it might be, to insert itself into your life.
And we're back with Brian Danhausen, and he last year did an energy painting for me in the studio. We were able to do it together. And it's interesting because I rewatched it this year so we could just talk about it a little bit and see how it sort of affected me, or how you kind of predicted the things that could happen in my life. And it really, like, at the time, I definitely felt connected to you and the painting and everything. But now, as time has passed, I feel more connected to what happened that day than I did when it originally happened, which is amazing to me.
And sometimes that happens. Some of the things that I might paint might be in the process of happening or haven't quite happened yet, but sometimes it acts as a warning to, I don't want to say warning, but let's just say warning to prep you for what's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I always say I paint stuff all the time. None of it makes sense to me. I know what it represents, and I can get feelings off of it, but I don't really know everyone's personal life and what's going on in their life.
Yeah, it's not like an open book where it just like is a chapter and you're reading a chapter of my life, you know.
Right.
It's symbols and you're just trying to tell me what those symbols mean or could.
And that's why I say when I do these, after I explain the painting, I call that my safe zone, because if you want to open up, it's not like I can go back and repaint something as you tell me and say, oh, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
It's already gone. It's already been explained. It is what it is. There's no backtracking. It just is what it is.
Well, I will say one of the things that you mentioned really quickly after you had painted my painting last year was this persecution. And I did not understand that in any way when you said it. And you were like, it's something that could have been a past life that's trickled on into this life. And then as I was thinking about it more and more, so I don't want to name names because I think it's a little rude to name names, but there's someone that, you know, should be a family member to me, no longer in my life at all anymore. And they made up really awful lies about me, and like some of the worst lies that you could make up about somebody, basically.
Right.
And then told me they were going to call the police on me.
Wow.
Yes. And then it comes to find out that this, I think, based on the people I've talked to, that it really bothers her that I am half Arab. And I think that's why she has now picked me to be someone, because I don't think she was happy to have someone of that race in her family. So that's like spot on with persecution.
Right. That's horrible, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's been, I'm going to say it's been rough.
Yeah.
And I think I hold it together pretty well. But it hurts to have someone that you thought was your family say really horrible, awful things about you and basically try to ruin your life.
Right. Yeah, it's horrible.
So in that original painting, which is behind me right now, there was like that sort of spider purple color, and you said someone was going to strike, and and you know what's funny is this person was the first person I thought of when you said that, but they hadn't done anything to me yet. So
but see, your instincts were telling you already. You got the warning, and that's why I always say trust yourself and trust your instincts. When you got the painting, you got the warning, and instantly you knew who it was, or you thought you did, you know. And if you trusted, you could prep for it better, and prep for what this person was going to do.
Yeah, I have to say I wasn't completely shocked then, because you gave me the warning.
Right.
You know? And I will say that that's something that I appreciated about having this done. And I think so many people don't know anything about this sort of process, and they obviously can be reluctant about doing stuff like this. And it's not like it's like life-changing or anything, but it was helpful. It really was helpful to me.
Well, that's good. I appreciate that. I always say for me, it's a privilege and an honor for me to be able to do this for people. Because, you know, you guys let me into your lives and share personal information with me. I'm kind of just like the middleman. So, you know, for me, it's a pleasure to be able to do this.
Okay, now that we discussed like some of the stuff that happened last year, I'm just dying to know what you've been kind of experiencing this year. So if you want to get started on the painting, and I'll try to be quiet for most of it, and maybe I'll ask you a question here and there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's the difference too by doing this is, again, I don't have my headphones on, so when people do have questions, I can speak with them. And like I said before, usually these have something to do with stuff you kind of got to deal with now in your life or stuff that's coming up. What I do the video versions is, while you're waiting for me to mail it out, I will send you a picture of it just so you have something to kind of reflect on until you get the actual painting.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, it's you really need to see it up close to see all the nuances of it. There's so many details that you might not even notice.
Right.
So when we talk about like colors and stuff, this is like sort of what the colors that you know, or like in your mind, these colors represent these things. Is it
Right.
specific to you?
So like in your normal, I guess, if you want whatever you want to say, normal, like aura colors, purple represents like a spiritual color. For me, purple is a negative if it's surrounding something. It kind of changes, which is weird. I can tell if it's the full purple painting, it might be more of a spiritual thing. But if it's surrounding a person in their core, then it's like a negative aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So again, for me, it's just is there a right answer, a right color? I don't think so. I just think it's what they show me what it means. You know, like for me, people get scared of when I'm painting black, but for me, black's a protective color. Or it also represents who or what's on this plane of existence and who is on the other, because the white represents people on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
People get scared for black, but black's not, for me, you know, is not a bad color. So
Very interesting to watch it being done this time, because last time, like I said, it was a reveal at the end for me. I didn't see it happening.
And the readings take me a little bit longer now because they're much more detailed than they used to be. As I usually do, we start with colors. You know, the purple for me is a negative aspect. The red represents love and strength, and the yellow, which fades off onto this side, represents peace and serenity. Right here, you are represented by the tree, which represents growth and strength.
Mm-hmm.
I do see a split in the tree, where this one kind of goes off here and can reflect back and kind of twist back off into this purple negative area. Mm-hmm. But again, your little spider guy, I don't know what to call him, but you call him.
Yeah, he's a spider to me. He looks like a spider.
Right. I like to say I see like two versions of you. One that could be sucked back into this, and then the one that has like the peace and serenity. And this is where the kind of split is. Again, you do have the crowns, and if we talked about the swirls, which represents the portals of where people with gifts go get their information from.
Mm-hmm.
So here we got two people on the other side. Again, sharing all three of you actually sharing the spiral, which is a strong female energy. Again, female, family, friend, loved one. I'm assuming this has been talking to me all day, which was your grandmother.
Yeah.
Showing me this imagery of this whole painting. So this might come off as weird, this being up here, because I don't know what your spiritual beliefs are or whatever.
I will tell you right now, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual.
Okay, I'm the same way. I'm a witch. I don't know if you guys knew that.
No, I didn't know that, but to each their own, you know, that's how I've always felt about it. Whatever makes you feel safe and comfortable is the way I've taken on spirituality in my life.
And that's the same with me. And just a little side note before we get into her, is the way I feel is the divine being is a divine being. Whether someone says God, Buddha, goddess, whatever, it does not matter. It just uses different aspects of itself to connect with different people. Mm-hmm. Wherever they might be in their life, that's the aspect it uses to connect. I think we're all going to end up in the same place anyways. There's no point in arguing about it. It doesn't matter. It's all good.
100%. I'm with you. I am with you.
So with this comes the goddess Hecate, who is, now it's kind of weird because she is considered a darker goddess because she deals with the underworld and ghosts and stuff like that. She's a triple goddess. She actually predates Zeus.
Okay.
That's how old she is. For some reason, she's in your painting to back you up on something, to give you strength and guidance. Whether you accept it or not, that's your choice, as it always is. Mm-hmm. But she's she's actually my patron goddess. She can be very vengeful if need be, so she's very good to have on your side.
Maybe I should listen to her.
She can show you a stronger way to look at things, maybe, or a stronger path to look into. Again, everything's a choice, whether you take that path or not. Again, she is queen of the witches, mother of ghosts. She's very. If you go back in the old school stuff, she actually helped Persephone into the underworld to help find her lost lover.
Mm-hmm.
They always portray her as a bad guy because she is darker, but she is a triple moon goddess. She does the 3 phases, and she might show you something to do with this as well, because this is you past life, being hung, which means you were probably hung for witchcraft.
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes sense, those two connections,
right?
Her and the being hung, because I think that's what you think of with witches and that and in our past.
And again, the grandmother watching over you, she is in a split. Kind of keep an eye on this split, so maybe you don't falter back. I said, I don't know. It seems like the split in your life, maybe something. I'm not sure what it's leading to. Again, I know it's something you could be sucked into here, but then there's this side with the peace and serenity. But you do have almost like this old commotion. So maybe these two will help guide you on your path to. I'm sure you'd want to take the peace and serenity path as opposed to the negative, crazy stuff back over here.
Well, seeing that sort of what I call the spider in it brings me back to that person again.
Right.
And that person is not completely out of my life.
Right.
Because they can't be.
Right.
So here's the thing. When I will not respond or talk to this person in any way, shape, or form, but they keep sending me messages. And when I get a message from this person, it really upsets me and it brings me back down. But I think normally when this person is not a part of like anything, no messages, nothing, I am very much at peace in my life.
So she's trying to suck you into this commotion.
Negativity, yes.
Negativity, commotion of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your choice if you want to get sucked into that or not. I'm sure you don't.
I don't want anything to do with this person ever again.
Right. And as you say, even when she sends the message, it still upsets you, even if you don't acknowledge it or whatever. And I get that.
So I had gotten to the point now, I won't read them. I archive them in case I need to use something against somebody.
Right.
But I won't read them anymore because I think it's better for my mental health.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And that's already a choice that you're making to stay out of this and not be sucked into this. And, keep your way and get these branches back over to this side.
Mm-hmm.
And make this, smaller and smaller and smaller until
it's gone.
It's gone. Well, again, you said it might never be gone, but it's something that you can
manage. It's manageable. Yeah.
Right. And not let it, bother you. Where that person got their own problems and they're trying to bring you down.
Yeah. And honestly, when you talk about like peace and serenity and I know you can't just say I'm going to be happy and like those things, but you can be happy in your life and you can be satisfied with the things that you have in your life that make you happy. And I will tell you, other than this sort of a spider person hanging over me, I have a beautiful life and I love my life.
Right. Right. Yeah. And so you can't let that affect that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, keep archiving it just for your own personal records. Don't even need to read them. What's the point? Doesn't matter.
But you like sort of explaining the split in my life. It does make sense for right now. It does completely make sense to me.
Right.
And I do ask my grandmother for guidance and to help me. And I feel like maybe she was guiding me before and sort of warning me about this person, but I wasn't
listening.
I couldn't open my eyes fully to it because I had some sort of obligation I felt with the relationship that she has to other people in my life.
Right. Yeah, you have no obligation to anybody. The crowns with the gifts are still very prominent. And even I don't know the show with her last time, but with the grandmother, it surrounds her as well. So I don't know if that's where you got it from, whether she knew she had it or not. I always feel like they're kind of handed down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know how much we got into it last year, but if you want to do stuff like this, you could very well do it, or connect with the other side, and not just with her, but for other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do very much think, I said it was kind of weird because, I do feel a witchiness about you from past lives. And I was always taught that, so once a witch in every lifetime, once one lifetime, you're a witch in every lifetime. It's whether when you get awoken to it.
Uh-huh.
So, and maybe, again, it might just be aspects of spirituality that you might find in that path to help you get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's coming forward now because of the struggle with this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to show you, and they're both going to show you a new strength. Like I said, just because she's there and this is here doesn't mean that's the path you have to follow, but you might research and pick something up and be like, oh,
Yeah.
this kind of works for me in my life. Like I said, for myself, I call myself an eclectic witch, and I can take stuff from Wicca, witchcraft. I can take stuff from Christianity if I want, if it works in my life. I can just mix everything together. So whatever works for me, works for me.
It's interesting because before we started to talk about spirituality, you said you were a witch. And then when we started talking, I felt like we were on the same page. So.
That's what I'm saying. So again, for people that might not know, like the craft and the Wicca, it's all nature-based, energy-based kind of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
It's not dark, and I mean, I guess someone could take it to a dark place. Anyone can take anything to it. It's always the person, but in general, it's about balance, nature, and the energy of the universe and all that kind of stuff. So just for the viewers can kind of get
Yeah. So follow you on Instagram, friend you on Facebook, and you can find out all the cool stuff that Brian's up to.
Yeah.
And maybe you could get energy painting for yourself as well, since you're doing these all virtually now.
Yes, definitely.
So Brian, I want to thank you so much for doing this with me again. It's been so much fun. It's such a great experience.
No, I dig it, man. Like I said, I like doing it. So it's an honor for me to be able to do it.
Well, I'll thank you again for taking part in our FYI Halloween special.
Thank you.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer. And remember to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI. Happy haunting.